This cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And Doug.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating!
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At Boot Barn, we're driven by everything the cowboy boot stands for. The reliable communities of the West, the hardened values of the cowboy, and the unshakable spirit of all who lead a tenacious lifestyle. Justin Boots capture these Western ideals in every pair. Their handcrafted boots are an invitation into the continuing story of the West, open to all who dream of untamed lands and endless Western skies. Justin Boots at Boot Barn.
Families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to Hurricane Helene by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Little again, and Tucker and Hodge go up to get it. A 10th block for Arizona. Bauer was serving. Scoggins, Hodge, and there it is! Arizona has won their first ever Big 12 conference game. What a feeling that must be for these young ladies. 12-2 overall, 1-2 in Big 12 play, and they stun BYU.
What a win for Arizona volleyball on Wednesday night to get this impressive super sports weekend underway for the University of Arizona. We were at the game. It was quite the battle back and forth. Arizona won the first set. BYU won the second set. Arizona won the third set. BYU kind of blew Arizona out in the fourth set, and people were starting to get a little nervous. But the Wildcats, I think it was 4-4, and the Wildcats went on a 6-2 run to go up to 10-6 in the fifth and deciding set, where they played just to 15. Avery Scoggins coming up with a huge block, and we saw the arrival of one Journey Tucker, sophomore middle blocker from up in the Phoenix area. I mean, she was absolutely fabulous last night. 10 block assists, 1 solo block, and to be quite honest with you, I mean, I've been watching volleyball all my life. Well, maybe not all my life. I started watching it in high school, but I really started watching, obviously, collegiate volleyball when I got to college in the late 80s. And I still don't understand how the whole block thing works. I mean, sometimes I think they give block assists to people just because they go up, but they don't actually touch the ball. I mean, from what I saw, I thought Journey Tucker probably had about 6 or 7 blocks just by herself. So I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you're watching it naked eye. You know, when you're there in the moment, I'm sure the statisticians are like, well, if 2 people go up, we're going to give a block assist. Unless it's crystal clear, then that person will get the block solo. But she was just unbelievable. This was a player that really had not necessarily played a ton last year as a freshman and kind of was not necessarily in the starting lineup this year. But, man, did she match up well against BYU and brought the roof, as we like to say, brought the roof down on the 20th ranked Cougars.
I will do everything within my power to get an NCAA official scorekeeper on so you can ask the real questions and for the first time since the late 80s, figure out how it is that they score blocks.
How do they score those blocks? Yeah, if you're out there and you're listening and you officiate volleyball, please give us a call, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Because, I mean, I knew she had a lot of blocks. I looked at the sheet. I said, man, the one solo, I swore she had about 5 or 6 in that game, but they gave her 11 total, 10 block assists and 1 block. I guess it all adds up in the one column anyway, total blocks. And anytime you can get double digits in that category, you're having a really, really good night.
The craziest statistic to me that came out of this, I guess I didn't know this, but the BYU women's volleyball team has been ranked in the top 20 for 159 consecutive weeks.
Wow.
Every single volleyball poll since 2013, BYU has been ranked 18 or higher. That's how good that program is.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple of our grads have left here and gone to play there. Kamali Hiapo being, I think, the most recent, one of our liberos in recent years, graduated from the U of A and went and played her extra year at BYU. I want to say Panina Snuka did the same thing. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure Panina Snuka graduated and may have played a grad year at BYU as well. I swore Kamali Hiapo was sitting behind me last night. I wasn't sure if that was her, but I thought that it was. Lots of star power in the building last night. Tetroa McMillan was in the house for the game. Jada Williams and some of the other women's basketball players were in the house for the game to see Arizona win their first Big 12 conference match.
I mean, if
this
anybody
season
out there wonders why we label the Arizona Athletics Department as a family.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about the football players coming out to support the men's tennis team, all those people you just mentioned, DK. That's what it's all about. It's about the athletes and the different coaches from each program going out to support other programs within the athletics community and all being friends. You know, they might not do weight training all in McHale anymore, but doesn't mean that they can't support each other, DK, at moments like that, especially for their first Big 12 win.
20 kills for Jalen Hodge last night. She has just been on fire offensively. Hit 340 for the match. I mean, that's, again, we categorize, we say, if you don't understand hitting percentage in volleyball, just kind of think of it as hitting average in baseball. 340, that's really good. Really, really good, especially for an outside pin who had 47 attempts last night. Jordan Wilson, 14 kills. Carly Cisneros, 13 kills. Those two, by comparison, Jordan only hit 190. Carly only hit 237. So that tells you the night that Jalen Hodge had. 20 kills, 4 errors on 47 swings. A 340 average for hitting percentage for her. Really, really top notch. And she had a double-double. Because she added 10 digs. In fact, there were 4 double-digit dig nights. That's the Wildcats playing defense. Carly Cisneros has been a double-double machine in her freshman year. 13 kills and 14 digs. 13 and 11. Brenna Gender, she's the libero. She had 14. And Avery Scoggins. How about Avery Scoggins? She had 2 kills, 40 assists, and 12 digs. Not bad for a freshman setter. And she had a block, and she had 1 block, and it came in the 5th set. And, man, did that place – I mean, you talk about like a big three-point shot in basketball from like a freshman upstart. When she made that block, I mean, McHale, you could not keep the lid on McHale Center, nor that bench, because that was probably the most exciting, one of the most exciting moments of the night when she went up and got her block, her 1 block of the night. So the Wildcats get their first win. They're now 1-2 in conference play. They'll take on Utah. That's going to be an early game tomorrow at noon. So get the kids out of school. And, why not? It's Friday. There's a lot going on. Take the kids out of school. How about this? Take the kids out of school tomorrow. Go see Arizona volleyball. Come by We'll be down at Illegal Pete's tomorrow. Bear Down Friday, the first official Bear Down Friday. You can come down 3 o'clock, have something to eat, hang out with us at Illegal Pete's, parade at 6 o'clock. Then you can hop back over to McHale for the Red-Blue game. Or you can hop over to soccer and see Arizona soccer tomorrow. I mean, there's just a lot going on. I think you should take. I am giving you permission to take the kids out of school tomorrow. What do you think about that?
Permission slip.
Yeah.
DK says it's okay.
Yeah, DK says it's okay to take your kids.
I don't know if that's the same value as a doctor's note, but I think that's probably somewhere in that category.
Administrators all over town are dialing 520-848-1290, saying, "Tell DK not to be telling parents to pull their kids out of school to go to sporting events." What is he talking about? All right, short show today, as we always have on Thursday, because we've got NFL Thursday Night Football. Bijan Robinson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Atlanta Falcons and the Buccaneers, our coverage will begin at 4:30. Saw an interesting article today. I just saw it on the way back from practice. So I was over on campus. We had the Brent Brennan press conference, which you heard here earlier. And then we had a chance to hear from Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis from the Arizona men's basketball team for the Red-Blue game ahead of tomorrow. There's people already saying, now, what are the Falcons? The Falcons, I believe, are 1-2 on the season. There's people that are already kind of saying that the Falcons aren't getting what they should be getting out of their recent top picks in Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Drake London. So it's not you got a veteran quarterback there right now, but it still hasn't seemed to come together the way that a lot of people think that it should be coming together for that Atlanta Falcons offense.
4.1 average, that's pretty good. And
I think so.
No fumbles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand exactly what more they want out of Bijan, unless you want him to run for 100 yards every game.
I mean, maybe. I guess you could look at it and say, okay, his longest run of the year is 19 yards. So maybe you've got those fans that think if a guy doesn't, run down the sideline for 50, 60 yards on a play, on any given play, that maybe that's not your guy. But that reliability, how many workhorse running backs have we seen? That's the Emmitt Smith style. All right. Like Emmitt Smith had many years where his average, the longest carry that he had might have been 20, 25 yards. I think Bijan's doing fine. I think it's more that offense in general. Right, Dragon Ball? I mean, them trying to figure out those spots to get him the ball.
The biggest issue with the Falcons the last 3 years, I want to go back to at least 3 because that was around the time when they got Kyle Pitts, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round. The problem has been that for some reason, the coaching staff in Atlanta was seemingly focusing on the backup tight end, the backup wide receiver, and the second string running back as the main focuses of the offense. Because Kyle Pitts, so far this season, only has 8 catches on the year. That's a guy who should be
15 targets.
Yeah, that's a guy who should, because of the mismatch nightmare that he presents on paper, should have maybe 30-something targets going into this season. Not to mention maybe 25 catches already, but he hasn't. Drake London, same issue right now. He's only got 200 yards, and he's getting surpassed right now by Darnell Mooney, which, again, it was Mooney that got the catch on that one versus Drake London. You can make the jokes on there. And the problem with Bijan is that he was kind of in a really bizarre situation with the running back room prior to this season because you had Cordarrelle Patterson, you had Tyler Algier, and then you had Bijan. All 3 of them were averaging about 8 to 9 carries each in the game. And
they were trying to make everybody happy last year.
They were trying to give everybody an opportunity for a change of pace back. But the thing is, Bijan's got enough change of pace to him because he can be a power and a speed back if you need him to.
And he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. All right, we got a prop bet. I got a prop bet from BetQL coming up for you on tonight's game. We'll give you that a little bit later. But again, short show today, only till 4:30. So right now, we're going to welcome in the 4th member of our team. I love it when we get to put all 4 of the faces up there together.
We're almost the Brady Bunch.
We are almost, there's a story of a lovely lady, and she was hanging out with 3 ugly dudes. No.
Hey, you guys.
I knew I should have shaved today.
Cricket is joining us, and she has got tickets for you. But, it's never easy to get these tickets. Be ready to dial 8520-848-1290 if you can answer what I'm sure is going to be another difficult question from Cricket today. Cricket, what do you got for us today?
Okay, this is what I have for you today.
All right.
Now, when Arizona last played Texas Tech in 2019, quarterback Khalil Tate ran for a touchdown and threw for a touchdown. He threw for a touchdown to a wide receiver who played part of his high school career here in Tucson. What was that player's name? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. The first person to know the answer wins the tickets to the game. Again, here's the question. Who was the Tucson Prepster who caught a touchdown pass from Khalil Tate when U of A beat Texas Tech 28-14 in 2019? And bonus points, I don't really have another prize for that, but you just get bonus points.
Okay.
If you know what high school this player went to.
Whoa,
Good luck.
Man, Cricket coming up with the big ones today. I think this is the last time we're going to see you for a while because you're going to be subbing in on the mornings on K-Hit. So make sure when you wake up in the morning, because we don't have local sports in the morning here. So wake up and listen to Cricket on K-Hit all next week, right? What are the hours?
Yes.
What time? 6 a.m.
I start tomorrow and then through next week, all Monday through Friday, 6 or 5 a.m. till 10 a.m.
5 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you've got you're going to Disneyland, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So have fun. I don't know how Dave Lavender got out of Disneyland, but he scheduled that right. I think he's going to be in Philadelphia. All right. Hang on, Cricket. Let's talk to Eric. Eric, you are on Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip. Cricket, give that question one more time.
All right. Who was the Tucson Prepster who caught a touchdown pass from Khalil Tate when U of A beat Texas Tech 28-14 in 2019?
Eric, do you have the answer to that question?
I'm going to guess Jamari Joyner.
Jamari Joyner? Jamari Joyner. Eric, you are incorrect, but thank you for the call. Let's hear from Victor. Victor, how are you? You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Good. Barry Hill. Played at Sabino.
What's his first name?
Stanley Berryhill.
Stanley Berryhill. That is correct. Stanley
Excellent.
Berryhill. You do not get the bonus question because he did not play Sabino, but you are going to get tickets to the
my
game.
bad.
His little brother, Shamar Berryhill, played at Sabino. He was on the state championship team last year. He transferred to Peoria Centennial, where he's been suspended for the first 5 games because, the AIA makes you sit out when you transfer schools, but he gets to play this Friday night. So good luck to Shamar. Hey, Victor, who are you going to take to the game with you?
Well, I'm going with a large group, so the more tickets, the better.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Outstanding. Well, stay on the line, Victor. J-Dub's going to get your information, and we will and have fun on Saturday. Come by and see us. It's my birthday.
Okay, it's your birthday. Thank you very much.
There you go. Victor said Stanley Berryhill. The bonus part of that question was he went to Mountain View High School. Mountain View High School. All right, Cricket, have fun. We'll miss you.
Thank
now
you.
She's going to get you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Linda Vista near Twin Peaks Road, Drexel and Midvale Park, Thornydale and Costco Drive, also Keno Parkway and 36th Street. And also road work has started on Roger Road west of Oracle. Road crews have started preparation work in the westbound lane of Roger Road west of Oracle. And weather-wise, 104 expected Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock.
October's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. One way to help protect yourself is updating your passwords. Using the same one for multiple accounts can make you vulnerable to cyber criminals. But for comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. Start a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com/cybersafety.
Hey, Tucson, tune in each weekday from noon to 3 p.m. for The Rich Eisen Show right here on the home of Arizona Wildcats football.
Under pressure, and the ball is loose. The Cats have got it.
Men's and women's basketball and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Join David Kelly for Bear Down Fridays this Friday at Illegal Pete's on University from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. as we get ready for the Wildcats to take on Texas Tech at Arizona Stadium this Saturday. Sponsored by Corona for fans of the fine line, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love...
Is he okay?
Ron, did you get hit on the head? What? Oh, no.
I was just reminiscing.
Here comes a story.
I was 5 or 6. A scruffy little ragamuffin I was.
A scruffy? What are you, Charles Dickens?
Mama just wanted to comfort me.
Mama?
Comfort. It's why we started Alaskan AC, you know?
We know.
I was being a fuss budget. Golly, I was a scoundrel.
Get to the point.
These were the early days at Alaskan AC, see?
See.
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC.
Ron.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
We literally just came up with the new Alaskan AC jingle last month.
What? Who's that? Who's there? Is it you, Mama?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Ronnie, it's Mama.
Did your little Ron Bon make you proud?
Every day, dear.
Why did I even come to work today?
Because...
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
AlaskanAC.com.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
there's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
This is not a joke.
When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. And if all else fails, we can always call upon...
I'm Captain Tobacco, at your service.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's football press conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to Hurricane Helene by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
This is Jim Rome with your home report. You've got to know that I'm going to start this day by talking about the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers, you know, the team that was 55-63 as recently as August 10th. That team just ended the longest streak of ALCS appearances in the history of the American League by the Astros. Detroit's 26-man wildcard roster was paid just $18.8 million salary this year. 62 MLB players made more than $18.8 million this season. As Chris Vanini from The Athletic put on X, quote, there are college football teams paying players more money than the Tigers playoff roster. I mean, there are only 3 Tigers on the current active roster making more than $1 million this year. How insane is it that a team like that could even sniff the postseason, much less bust Houston up and knock them out? I see you, D.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmitt Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play.
run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
A hush in the building here. Bauer. And there's the block again. Oh, Scoggins. And Tucker.
It's the Wildcat Hour, which means it's time for our Arizona Insiders.
Am I late?
No, my boy, you're just in time. Each weekday, Wildcats Radio 1290 brings you all the latest news and opinions of U of A athletics and happenings around the Big 12. So bear down, Cardinal and Navy, and let's talk Cats. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Coors Light, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Yeah, that was the block I was talking about with Avery Scoggins, where I just thought the building was going to come unglued when the freshman went up in the fifth set and put the roof down on BYU. Let's talk to the guy whose voice you just heard make that call. He is a University of Arizona grad. You may remember his face as well. He used to be on TV here in the market. Another former Channel 13 alum like myself, Steve Quiz, joins us now. Steve, I guess this will be appropriate time to welcome you back here to Tucson. Are you actually living back here, or are you like Jefferson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? You just fly in for games?
I know, and I have the Camaro and all that, and they give me the great Arizona Letterman jacket.
Right.
No, that is I love that reference right there. No, I'm actually out in front of my parents' house in Marana.
Oh, there you go.
I moved them from Southern California 5 years ago, and I'm taking all the leaves right now. I'm sweeping up all the leaves that my dad hasn't swept up for the last few months. So
we actually have leaves.
They love seeing their little boy here, and my son just graduated not too long ago, so I got a million reasons to come back to Tucson, a city I love. So,
we actually have leaves here in Tucson in the summer.
Believe it or not, although I heard there was a rattlesnake somewhere out here,
boy.
so I got to be
easy.
I got to be very careful.
There you go.
I got to be careful.
Well, Steve, you've been on the call, obviously, for a lot of the ESPN Plus home games in terms of volleyball. What's been your impression of this club so far? Obviously, they breezed through the non-conference part of the season at 11-0, a little bit of a speed bump with the first Big 12 road trip, but man, was that a huge win last night.
Yeah, they are just such a fun team to watch. I'm just sort of fitting into my own doing volleyball. I haven't done a lot of it, some in the Big West, but this is one of the most exciting teams I have seen. They've got just enough youth. The top recruit in the country, Carly Cisneros, who's as good as advertised, had her fourth double-double last night. Scoggins, who's probably going to be all Big 12 by the time it's all said and done for her career here. And then, with Hodge, who's a fifth-year senior, Wilson and Roby, who's, been around the block a couple times with transfers from Oregon and Florida State. I mean, this is a really fast, athletic, fun team. We were kind of talking about and joking that it was kind of a volleyball town through the first 11 games. And I got a little nervous when they had the hiccups at Baylor and TCU. But to do what you did last night against a BYU team that had been ranked in the top 20 164 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. Now, Arizona could probably knock them out of that and end that streak. And that's a program that's been ranked like 174 consecutive weeks in the top 25, not to mention the 20th. So it's a super exciting team. They've got the 7th rated volleyball freshman class. And, whether it's Ginder or Scoggins, who's won the setting job, or just Cisneros and what she can do up front in the back row with the digs. It's a great product, and I think we had close to 2,000 last night. I didn't look at the box to see what the final count was, but boy, that was a lot of fun last night, and I think Wildcat fans that were there got their money's worth and then some.
I kind of announced it as Journey Tucker's arrival. I mean, we had not seen a performance from her like what we saw, and we were kind of joking in the first segment. I was like, I swear I don't know how they score blocks in volleyball, because they only scored her for one solo block. I swore she had 4 or 5 all by herself. But hey, the 11 total, will take it. That was just an incredible performance by that sophomore.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like it. It's career high. And then one of the stories we finally got around to talking about on the broadcast is like she's 2 years removed from a brain tumor.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that story. Or maybe they do. But she wears 22 because back in 2022, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor. She, beat it that year in 22, and that's when she got her scholarship offer from Arizona. And we didn't see her in that Wildcat Classic. I think it was because of an injury, if I remember Coach Stubbs telling me that on a call this week. So she was out for those 2 games, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe she's just not in the rotation anymore. But played strong on the road at Texas was the bright spot. As a matter of fact, in our open last night, she was one of our top elements. For people that don't know television, usually you have 2 open elements at the beginning of a show to say, look for these 2 players. And it's great when that kind of pick kind of clicks right there. And that was her. And I've never seen anything like that, especially with the kind of backstory. And she was everywhere. And those 11 blocks were a career high for her. And I think she had 6 on the road trip too. So when we talk about stepping up, someone that last time they were at home wasn't even on the floor, to just get back and play well. And there's a lot more depth now. I know they have a couple of injuries, but to get, Tucker playing well in the beginning, and that was a really, really good win against a very good BYU team last night. So I'm excited about what's to come in the future here.
Steve Quiz is joining us, ESPN Plus broadcaster, University of Arizona grad. Now, what year did you graduate, Steve?
92.
92. I'll say class of 1992. Now, for those of you I'm sure a lot of people remembered you. You worked here at Channel 13. Then you went out to San Diego and you worked with a bunch of different entities. I think you did some work with the Padres out there as well.
Yep.
Kind of fill in folks with what you've done out in Southern California.
Well, so I left to go work for a TV station as a weekend anchor in San Diego, hoping I could make it on Padre broadcast by just having a good, rapport in the market. And they'd be like, okay, this guy's got AAA experience. Let's go. And before you know it, I was on the air broadcasting Padre baseball. I mean, I was one of their 2 play-by-play guys from 2006 to 2010. And then the station went away. They didn't want to be in the business anymore. They kept talking about, 14 years ago, how the regional sports networks were going to go away in a decade. And we were like, are you kidding me? We're like, we're the fat cats. And now look what happened to Bally, right?
Yeah.
So bye-bye to that. They got out of the business. And then I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And then the next thing you know, I got a call one day out of the blue from ESPN National, and they're like, can you be at Gonzaga on Saturday night in November to call a game against St. Joe's? I said, absolutely. And here it is 11 years later. I've been doing that, doing high school football for Bally in Southern California, Spectrum, and on the Laker channel, do the Sparks. I mean, my resume is super duper long. And I'm also the voice of UC San Diego. Been doing that for the last 8 years on their ESPN Plus package. So it was kind of only natural when Arizona had to do it based on their contracts that I could lend a little bit of expertise. I do, like 10 sports for UC San Diego. So,
oh, wow.
And they'll be doing a lot here for Arizona in the coming years. So, I could be a very valuable product to that athletic department and in the years to come. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been out in San Diego for 25 years. And by the way, I do have a full-time job where I'm a college administrator as well. So,
wow, okay. What school are you at? Are you
San Diego Miramar College.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a 2-year community college. You're not going to. Tommy Lloyd's not getting any transfers from our basketball team. I'll tell you that much. I always go and watch him play, and I'm like, hey, when's the varsity going to show up? Because the 5-man's always like 6'1". But we got somebody to the University of Pacific in the 10 years I've been there, but that's about it.
Steve Quiz joining us, ESPN Plus broadcaster. He's been working Arizona volleyball games. So, do you know yet what other sports you're going to be doing here on ESPN Plus for U of A?
I have today. I just got a little bit of a basketball schedule, so there's going to be some men's games. We're still working that out. So I think I'll do a few of those. And then after that, I think the contract this year for the university calls for like doing 50 games. And then next year, I think it calls for doing like 150. So, I mean, the plan is to, just be out here maybe full-time next year doing as much stuff. Next year they'll have to do baseball and softball and stuff. But I think right now the plan is for those 50 events, basketball, men's and women's basketball, whatever the networks don't take, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And Arizona's so good, both men's and women's, right? So we're talking the big ESPNs, the FS1s, the Foxes. And then I think there's some gymnastics we might do, but other than that, I just basically have the contract right now to do volleyball. So we'll work through the 15 volleyball matches we're going to do, and I don't even know what I'm doing on Monday, to be quite honest with you. So, you'll like this, right? As a sports guy, you go cover Cardinals camp or something, and the coach would be like, one game at a time, right? And you'd be like, oh God, not this answer again. But it's like that for announcers. I mean, this week, so Saturday I did a water polo match for ESPN. Next day I did soccer, and then I have these 2 volleyball matches, and it literally was, okay, these guys are in the pool. That's all you need to care about. We'll worry about soccer tomorrow, and then we'll worry about volleyball, when it gets later in the week. And then I'm racing back home to do soccer again this weekend as well. So it's nuts, man.
All right, give us a preview of what we can expect Arizona and Utah tomorrow.
This is good. They're 12-2. They've got a team that's really, really solid, like very balanced. For those the novices in volleyball, you have the attack, right, offensively and defensively, and it's hard to find teams that maybe have both working in concert. But Utah's very good on the attack. One of the top teams in kills and points in the Big 12 Conference, and very good on defense with blocks as well. And the key thing last night was just how awesome BYU is every game leading up to last night's match with the block. And Arizona held them to like 2 blocks until middle of the third set. And I think maybe they had 6 blocks when it's all said and done. So this will be another team that'll be big on the outside, that likes to pass the ball, and is going to give Arizona quite the match. And I know it's Kids Day tomorrow at noon. There's going to be a lot of kids there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I think I board a plane, and then Red Blue game, right, is tomorrow night at McHale. So it's going to be quite a busy day on campus.
There you go. And as I got to ask you, as a guy that obviously has worked in Major League Baseball and in San Diego, what are your thoughts on the Padres and their chances against the Dodgers in this upcoming series?
I think this team's going to win the World Series, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And I've said that since about August the 15th. I mean, that bullpen is unhittable. I know they have some issues at the back end with Suarez. And I know, having been in baseball, it's not that easy to go to a guy and tell him, okay, you're not the closer anymore, as we're in the playoffs and we're switching to the 7th inning. But I mean, every pitcher gets him to the 7th, and then Adam, locks it down in the 7th, and then, Scott, who they picked up from the Marlins, locks it down in the 8th, and then, hopefully you got a big enough lead for Suarez and his hiccups. But I just, I think it's one of the most talented teams I've seen in a long, long time, and probably the most talented San Diego team.
All right. Well, Steve, hey, we'll have you on again for sure as you continue to kind of work your way through broadcasting stuff here with ESPN Plus. We're all getting used to this new format, and I had to go out and put my money up so I could watch the games. And so
I know.
Hopefully everybody else has done the same so they can follow their Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, the way I think of it is like whatever you saw the Pac-12 network the last 10 years, if you got it, we're fortunate enough to get it.
Yeah,
is kind of basically what you'll see. But maybe on steroids for Arizona, and it's the ESPN Plus package. And we have great crews, man. I mean, it's all Pac-12 crews. We got great announcers.
Awesome.
John Daly's doing a great job running this thing, the creative director. So, it's a lot of fun. I'm blessed to be a part of it, especially as an alum. I keep pinching myself that I get to come back to Tucson and do this and get paid to do it, which all the money I spend in the bookstore anyway. But it is what it is.
And you got a pretty good partner, one of my favorite Wildcats, and McKenna Martin, doing a great job.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. Tomorrow we got Mackenzie Jacobson on there, so we're working in a newbie tomorrow. So yesterday, you'll like this as a broadcaster. I had two Mackenzies and a McKenna on the broadcast. So and I work half the time in the Big West. So it's like I'm trying to say, don't say Big West, and don't mix up McKenna, Mackenzie.
That's okay. We have a little jar here. Every time I say Pac-12, I have to put money into it. So
haven't done that yet. We have a jar too, and it's empty between McKenna and I. So I know it's coming.
All right.
It's coming.
Have a great
Thanks,
call
man.
tomorrow. Appreciate you, Steve.
Appreciate it. Thanks, DK.
Absolutely, Steve.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Choose chill.
All right, Steve Quiz. Great to get a chance to talk to him. Look forward to talking to him again some more as we go down the road in this new Big 12 conference. Arizona and Utah first serve tomorrow at McHale Center at noon. See, Steve said there's going to be 700 kids there. I didn't have to let them out of school. Somebody else gave that rule because there's going to be 700 kids there. I'm just kind of pile on. Let's get all the kids if we got 700 coming into McHale tomorrow. All right, Kelvin Ifan is going to join us at about 4:15 or so. We're only going to 4:30 NFL football. Buccaneers and Falcons straight ahead. DK on the sports tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Sponsored by the Tucson Reptile Show, with collisions that are reported Broadway and Pantano, Linda Vista near Twin Peaks Road, and also Drexel and Midvale Park, and waterline work scheduled on Aver Valley Road near Sandario through the 11th through next Friday. And I'm Cricket, and your weather 104 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 102 now, and that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Norton 360.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Boost your password security with Norton 360. Weak passwords can be targets. That's why Password Manager is included in Norton 360 to help keep you safe. Get comprehensive protection and up to 58% off at norton.com/secure.
The event of the year is here. The 22nd Annual Tucson Reptile and Amphibian Show and Sale, October 5th and 6th at the Pima County Fairgrounds Old Pueblo Hall. Discover exotic creatures from crocodiles to cobras. Enjoy a well-supervised reptile petting zoo. Get more information at TucsonReptileShow.com.
Iowa State looks to stay unbeaten at home. I'm Sammy P. here to help you beat the books with BetQL. Iowa State suddenly the second favorite to win the Big 12, and the Cyclones host Baylor this weekend. The BetQL model is eyeing the Cyclones as a double-digit favorite at home against those Baylor Bears. They've got ISU minus 11.5 as a 4-star best bet. I'm Sammy P. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
You are never too old for a family. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is dedicated to finding forever families for children who have been waiting in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo!
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen and out of reach. If you're a business owner and need help with your online presence, let's make it happen. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Boost your website. Boost your findability. Boost your reputation. Boost your business.
Marco?
Yes, I'm Marco. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us. But your car is probably still...
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute. You know it's not a good thing? When you have to stand in front of the media and explain that you have not lost your locker room. And that's exactly the spot that Doug Peterson found himself in yesterday. It seems like a pretty fair question though, right? The Jags are the only 0-4 team in the league, and they've lost 9 of their last 10 games, and their alleged franchise quarterback looks completely lost himself. I'm Jim Rome.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-244-5506. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, confirmed analysis and special props. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now to hear them free on a recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, #1 against the spread. 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, plus special prop action. I love to go 5-0 over the season free. 1-800-244-5506. Call now, 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to Hurricane Helene by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Again, it is a mega sports weekend. A lot of things are happening here in Southern Arizona. We told you last night we got volleyball tonight. Tonight, it's a little bit of a slow night in terms of the events here as well, but big time stuff tomorrow. You got volleyball. It'll be early again. That'll be a noon game. You've got the red-blue game, which is coming up. You'll hear tomorrow from some of the players. We had a chance to talk to Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis today. Jaden Bradley, the new point guard at Point Guard U. I asked him about, how he's prepared for this moment to take over leading this program on the floor. So you'll hear that. And then tomorrow night, Arizona Soccer will play BYU over at Murphy Field at Mulcahy Stadium. And don't forget, post-move is the only after party for the Arizona basketball red-blue game happening October the 4th. It's at Gentle Ben's. It's going to benefit the program created and produced by Dusk Music Festival. The all-ages event will be hosted by former U of A legend and 3-time NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas with performances from DJ Z-Trip, Mixmaster Mike of Beastie Boys fame, and Track Star the DJ. David, you know anything about Track Star the DJ?
I am not the person to ask for music, less so for DJs of any kind.
I don't know Track Star the DJ. I do not know who that is. All right, plus opportunities to meet current and former U of A basketball players and coaches, Pop-A-Shot contests versus players, an Arizona memorabilia silent auction, and much more. Again, all net proceeds from the event on October the 4th will go directly to support Arizona men's basketball. You can get more information and find out about tickets at ArizonaPostMove.com.
What about top lo-fi artists on YouTube? Could you answer that question?
Lo-fi.
I just know of the Lo-Fi Kid with a little animation that just loops on repeat.
That's where it started many years ago.
That's all I know. That's all I know about it.
Speaking of, have you seen the commercial with the Uber Eats commercial with Matthew McConaughey? And I believe it's Christian McCaffrey that's in the commercial with him. It is the funniest thing. It's the funniest commercial I've seen recently. So Matthew McConaughey is sitting on this couch with I believe it's Christian McCaffrey, but don't quote me on that. And he's basically, Christian McCaffrey saying, why do I want to eat when I'm watching football? And Matthew McConaughey goes, because football, they put these things into your mind about food. There's like pancake blocks and all this kind of things. And Christian McCaffrey's looking at him like he's crazy. Like, that's not true. That's not football. Football doesn't do that to you. And then Jerry Rice sits down on the couch and Matthew McConaughey looks over at him and says, "What are you eating, Jerry?" And Jerry says, "Rice." And Matthew McConaughey looks back at Christian McCaffrey and goes, and it says something like, "Oh, I'm telling you, this is what they do to you." It's like a whole conspiracy theory kind of commercial. It is hilarious if you haven't seen
That's
it.
probably
I was
the
laughing
first.
my butt off.
That's probably the first time I ever see Matthew McConaughey in a commercial where he's not sitting in a Lincoln.
I mean, yeah. Who knew he had comedic value? I mean, the guy's really, really funny.
Fast Times?
Was he? Wait, Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Not the old Fast Times.
Hold on.
Was there a new? No. Matthew
hold on,
McConaughey is
I-
not. You're thinking of.
No, not Fast Times. Right? Dazed and Confused.
Oh, Dazed and Confused. Okay.
Yeah, he was in Dazed and Confused.
I don't.
He's also in The Wedding Planner.
I don't know that I saw that one, but yeah, he's a pretty funny guy. Pretty funny guy. All right, let's hear from Journey Tucker. Journey Tucker, we've been talking about her throughout the show. She had just an unbelievable event last night for Arizona volleyball with 11 blocks. I swear I'm going to go back and watch the tape because I swear she had more than one solo block, but I'm not scoring the volleyball games out there. But, yeah, just an incredible performance. She's just a sophomore. You heard Steve Quiz talk about she overcame brain surgery. To hear her tell that story last year was just really, really incredible. We'll maybe see if we can pull that up from last year next week so you can hear just her tell the story of having to overcome the brain tumor just to get in a position where she could. And she didn't even start playing volleyball until she got to high school. So she's not like schooled like a lot of these girls that are playing right now at this level. But she matched up well with BYU, and it turned out pretty good for Arizona. Let's hear from Journey Tucker.
I had this discussion with Rita, how she's always told me that I block better against like high-paced teams, and I think just understanding that BYU has big girls. So my first initiation was like getting a block touch, and then getting self blocks was just like the cherry on top. I just think, we had this discussion not only for this game, but going into the Big 12, we're going to go against big hitters. So I think really my mindset is just to get low and fast over the block and to help my back row out.
What does it mean for you to have such a breakout game and such a big important match for conference home match against a ranked opponent?
I think it really boosts my personal confidence because I feel that I worked really hard during the spring, and my hard work has been able to pay off, and I've been able to start and play on the court, not only against, just in general, but against these big teams. And I think it also helps me understand that I can play with these girls. I think that was the main issue when I was coming in because I am relatively still new to the game. I didn't pick up volleyball until high school. So I think it definitely boosts my confidence, and it helps me understand that if I'm doing my job, I can play with these teams, and I can help my team out.
Coach said you're constantly asking questions out there. Give us
Yes.
an example, maybe of one question you asked tonight that was to the benefit of you and the team.
At first, I kind of struggled with 24, and then we had that discussion of pressing over my left hand. And it definitely benefited the last set when I got the block. So definitely, I just am so inquisitive. And since I'm still learning, I just feel like I just always ask questions, like if it's good or if it's bad. If I make a mistake, I always turn to Rita and talk to her about it. And I think I'm so grateful for having a coach like Rita because she won't shy away from those questions, so she'll explain it, not only concisely, but also visually.
The fight kills also tied your career high. How is your offensive game coming along, and what do you still think you need to do?
I think it's coming along better because I'm getting up faster on the net. Being an option, I think that's the biggest thing is that I'm becoming more of an option, and I think I just still need to work on my swing fundamentals. I've been working on that in practice, getting in early and doing that. So it's still a work in progress, but either way, I'm happy that they see me as an option.
What's your mentality like in practice, and how does that kind of
I think my mentality in practice is to play as hard as it's a game. You know, I think in practice it's very, you're always going to make mistakes in practice, and you go over them in practice so it doesn't happen in the big game. So that's my mentality. Play as hard, practice as hard as you would it for a game, and understand the mistakes that you will make will be corrected and not so much of a thing when you go into the big game.
And that is Journey Tucker last night after the Arizona Wildcats knocked off the BYU Cougars 3-2. Let's hear also real quick from Jalen Hodge. Jalen on Journey's performance and that big block we've been talking about from Avery Scoggins.
I feel like Journey just always comes in at the right time and just does her job, shuts hitters down, which just obviously helps with everything else. So she's really big at the net, which is something we need in the middle, and she just does her job really well.
Describe just the feeling when Avery got that block in the third.
Just happy. I'm so happy for her because that's one thing she's been working on a lot is her blocking, and clearly you can tell her emotions after she got it was very exciting. So just happy and proud for my freshman.
There you go. Jalen Hodge, 20 kills in the game. Fourth time this year, I think she's had over 20 kills in a ball game. She is really, really playing well for Arizona offensively. All right, coming up at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, it's the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. I'll pick the game. Can you pick the winner? I think I won last week, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, because it was the Vikings and the Packers, and they picked the Packers, and the Vikings won, right? So I won last week. So the pot this week is $50. So somebody's going to have a chance at $50. And look, if you've already called up recently, don't call up again, okay? We can only one. You can only what's it once every 6 weeks.
We're trying not to give away prizes for all 5 of our stations to too many people every single week. So if you've won anything recently on our station or one of the other stations here at Cumulus, let some other people call in.
There you go. So that's coming up. The Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. I'll pick the game. Can you pick the winner? DK on the sports tip. Much more straight ahead. Calvin Efon will join us as well around 4:15 as we get you set for Thursday Night Football at the bottom of the next hour. Dragon Ball, though, right now has everything you want to know in Southern Arizona in terms of sports as well as sports around the world.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Well, with some changes going up for Arizona football's running back room, Speedy Luke will go ahead and redshirt the rest of the season. Head coach Brett Brennan, though, has confidence that the remaining members of the platoon are going to step up.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center.
Yeah, well, I think we're all really excited about, Quali and Ked and what they brought to the table so far. And then I think this gives a chance for, maybe Big Red to do some stuff, or even, Brandon Johnson. So still feel really good about that room. Obviously, we've been hit by some surprises this year, but it's next man up. It's it's an opportunity for someone else to get a chance to play and show us what they can do.
Again, Arizona running back Quali Conley has been the main stud in the running back stable this season, sitting 8th in the conference with 322 yards on the year. And the Red-Blue game is going to get set up here pretty soon. Wildcats men basketball team set to show off what's going to be new. KJ Lewis saying that the team's actually going to be better on one side of the ball compared to the last season.
I think we're going to be a way better defensive team. I think 1 through 5 can switch everything. We're going to be aggressive on the ball, off the ball. We got, guys who can rebound the ball at a high level with Tobe, Trey, myself, and, Henry and Crevis. And, we got guards like me, Jaden, Caleb, and Deli who can, guard, and Carter who can guard the, the perimeter really well. So everybody on the team is, taking a step in a positive direction on the defensive side. So I think we're going to be a way better defensive team this year.
And last season, Arizona just missed being in the top 10 of defensive efficiency, finishing 12th place in that category at year's end. MLB playoffs, again, the Tigers and the Royals are advancing to the ALDS after the Royals and Astros both end up getting swept. The Padres were able to sweep the Braves, managing to go and set up themselves against the Dodgers in the NLDS. And today, you'll go ahead and get the final game between the Brewers and the Mets after Milwaukee managed to come back. Today, Jose Quintana will go ahead and start for the Mets as Tobias Myers starts for the Brewers in Game 3. And that's your up-to-the-minute sports update here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported 22nd Street near 6th on 22nd Street to the west of 6th Avenue and up to the north, Oracle and 1st Avenue and Oracle. 104 expected Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell. For $7, indulge in a Chicken Chalupa Supreme, beefy 5-layer burrito, and Doritos Locos Taco, plus chips and a drink. Get yours at Taco Bell for a limited time while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Is he okay?
Ron, did you get hit on the head?
What? Oh, no. I was just reminiscing.
Here comes a story.
I was 5 or 6. A scruffy little ragamuffin, I was.
A scruffy? What are you, Charles Dickens?
Mama just wanted to comfort me.
Mama?
Comfort. It's why we started Alaskan AC, you know?
We know.
I was being a fuss budget. Golly, I was a scoundrel.
Get to the point.
These were the early days at Alaskan AC, see?
See.
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC.
Ron.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
We literally just came up with a new Alaskan AC jingle last month.
What? Who's that? Who's there? Is it you, Mama?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Ronnie, it's Mama.
Did your little Ron Bon make you proud?
Every day, dear.
Why did I even come to work today?
Because...
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
It's that time of year again. The Marana Pumpkin Patch is back and better than ever. Bring the whole family for a day full of fun under the Arizona sun. Take a scenic wagon ride to the pumpkin fields. Pick the perfect pumpkin and explore the corn maze. But this year, they've got something new for 2024.
Scream the haunted corn maze. Enter if you dare, but beware of what lurks in the dark.
Plus, enjoy all your favorite activities, rides, slides, the farm animals, and the pumpkin cannon. Open weekends from October 5th through October 31st. Head to MaranaPumpkinPatch.com for tickets and info. Don't miss out. The Marana Pumpkin Patch, now with a scream-worthy twist.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from the Marana Pumpkin Patch. You can get admission into the Marana Pumpkin Patch for just $12.50 or admission into the all-new Scream Haunted Corn Maze. Also just $12.50. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
KTUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The one and only home of the Jim Rome Show. Rich Eisen and DK on the Sports Tip.
Oh, game on. Did I say that? Sorry. Game on.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, They drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden,
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata,
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
and Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
All right, it is that time of the week that we all look forward to so fondly. It is time for the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. $50 at stake this week. I picked the game. Can you pick the winner right now? I'm going to take caller number 2. Caller number 2 at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. $50 gift card from Miller Lite at stake because last week's winner picked the Green Bay Packers at home against the Minnesota Vikings, and that game did not turn out very well for the Pack and Jordan Love. So $50 is the call. I've got a prop bet for you for tonight's game from BetQL. How about this one here? Talking a little bit in the last hour about the Falcons and their offensive struggles. BetQL is saying take Kirk Cousins tonight and the over for 230 yards. What do you think on that one, Dragon Ball?
I think that's a pretty decent enough claim, especially considering the fact that, again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the things about their defense that's not really being talked a lot about because of how well Baker has played is the fact that they're short a couple of defensive linemen. I'm not sure what Kalaji Kansi right now is going to be looking like. I know that their big tackle, Mr. Vea, he's also going to be out for this game if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, if you can get a couple of early blocks and get to the second level for the Falcons, you can get Bijan open down the field against a squad that really doesn't have a whole lot of meat up at the front side of that defensive front.
Kirk Cousins so far this season in 4 games has completed 65% of his passes, 864 yards. He has 4 touchdowns. He has 4 interceptions. He's been sacked 6 times. And, of course, the Buccaneers bouncing back from their dreadful game in which they lost in week 3, I believe it was, to Denver. But all of a sudden, Denver, I mean, they've won 2 games in a row. So you never know. How about Bo Nix out there? But they bounced back last week, did the Buccaneers, and beat up on the Eagles.
I don't know how much I want to give credit to Bo Nix in that game. Was it -7 yards and no sacks in the first half? No. I understand that there's a lot of opportunity right now for the Falcons going into this game. You could go ahead and take a very strong lead in the NFC South as well, considering the Saints have kind of fallen off. But the Bucs, they looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. So be warned if you're Atlanta trying to take this team lightly.
All right, so that's your BetQL prop bet for tonight. The over on Kirk Cousins to throw for 230 yards. We'll let you know how that came out tomorrow. We haven't been having a lot of success with the BetQL people, but we're still trying. They keep saying eventually it'll turn in our favor. So we're going to keep playing these bets, and hopefully it will indeed turn in our favor, and we'll start to take home a few dollars. All right, we're ready for the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. I'm going to pick the game. Can you pick the winner? Let's talk with Brad. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. How are you, Brad?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Brad, who's your team? Do you have a team?
Sadly, this year I'm a Lambs fan.
Sadly, this year you're a Rams fan.
Lambs, Rams, same thing.
Well, Lambs, I get it. Lambs, Rams. Who do the Rams have this week? Who do you guys play this week?
I hate to admit it, but I'm more a fan of Miller Lite than I am the Rams this year.
Oh, you guys have the Packers at home. So it's the 1-3 Rams at home versus the Green Bay Packers. That is not the game we are going to play, though. So you're lucky there, Brad. I'm not gonna hold you to your favorite team. The game we are going to play is the game down in Houston this weekend. The Houston Texans at 3-1 against the Buffalo Bills at 3-1. The Bills came out of the gates looking like world beaters, and then they were humbled this last week by the Baltimore Ravens. The Texans are 3-1, and I don't know that they've actually really played all that well at 3-1. I mean, they got beat up by the Vikings. That's their one loss on the season, but they haven't necessarily looked all that impressive, at least in my mind, in the 3 games that they've won. So I picked the game, Brad, Bills and Texans. You pick the winner. Who do you have in that game?
I'll take Buffalo.
You're going to take the Buffalo Bills. Why do you think the Buffalo Bills will beat the Houston Texans?
Josh got a little more experience, and he's an animal.
Josh, so you're taking Josh Allen over the upstart young quarterback in C.J. Stroud. C.J. already this season has thrown for over 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And like you said, Josh Allen can do it all. He can run the ball in, and he can pass the ball in. 814 yards passing so far, 7 touchdowns. Josh Allen has not thrown an interception yet this season. That's pretty impressive right there. Brad, stay on the line. J-Dub is going to get your information, and then we will reconvene with you on Monday to talk about what happened in this game. Sound good?
Sounds great. Gracias.
All right. Good luck, Brad. Stay on the line with us. All right. That is the game. It is the Texans. It is the Bills on Sunday. All right. We're going to chat with Kelvin Ifan, get his thoughts coming up on Arizona versus Texas Tech as we take you to the bottom of the hour, 4:30, and Thursday Night Football between the Buccaneers and the Falcons. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported 22nd Street near 6th on 22nd Street to the west of 6th Avenue and up to the north, Oracle and 1st Avenue in Oracle. 104 expected Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples can print everything for my business.
Sure can.
And the quality is guaranteed?
Absolutely.
Plus, you'll beat any price quote. Is that right?
For sure.
How about this one?
We'll beat it.
Can you print menus, signs, and flyers?
Sure can.
How about blueprints?
No problem.
What about red prints?
Not a real thing.
What if they were?
We'd print them. And they'd look amazing.
Now at Staples, print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Ends 11/2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details and staples.com/price match for in-store price match guarantee.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
there's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In the
quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
This is not a joke.
When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes. Plus, save you up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. Hooray! And if all else fails, we can always call upon...
I'm Captain Tobacco, at your service. My hero.
Tobacco Barn. Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, Wildcats! Arizona football is in full swing. Join us Saturday, October 5th for the inaugural Big 12 home game as we face Texas Tech. Saturday, October 5th, we're also celebrating military appreciation as the Cats take on Texas Tech. Arrive early for kickoff. Secure your seats today by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today, and we'll see you in Arizona Stadium Saturday, October 5th against Texas Tech. Bear down and go Cats.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's football press conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill. Official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers popped up on the team's injury report Wednesday with a knee injury, but Robert Saleh calls him a full go, saying Rodgers is getting treatment, therefore he needs to be on the report. The Jets are set to arrive in London Friday ahead of their international matchup against the Vikings. Cowboys wide receiver Brandon Cooks has been ruled out of Sunday's Week 5 matchup against the Steelers due to a knee infection. Commanders head coach Dan Quinn says Austin Eckler has hit all the markers on the return-to-play protocol after suffering a concussion Week 3, and that, quote, arrows are pointing up. Patriots center David Andrews is expected to have surgery to repair a significant shoulder injury and will be placed on the season-ending injured reserve, according to head coach Gerard Mayo. Andrews is in his 10th year with New England and has started 121 of 124 games played since he entered the league in 2015. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Did you miss the big game? We got you covered.
That is the first carry for Caden Luke, the freshman out of CDO High in Tucson.
If you know football, you know what that carry was about. Freshman walk on at tailback, and we're going to hand you the ball. It was about morale of the squad, letting guys know that if you do your job,
you'll get
rewarded.
And our backs are so physical, man.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of the show for this afternoon as we're taking you up to NFL Thursday Night Football. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Bijan Robinson out of Tucson, South Point Catholic High School, back on the national stage for the third time already this season. Bijan's been on Monday night, he's been on Sunday night, and now he's on Thursday night football. And looking forward to seeing Bijan do his thing. Let's talk to the captain, Kelvin Ifan, and just get your thoughts on that. Kelvin, Bijan Robinson, and Tucson on a national stage once again. There's never anything wrong when one of your high school football favorite sons gets a chance to be on the next level and showcase his stuff in a national game that everybody's watching.
Man, it's great to see, man, because I had a chance to follow him, know his grandfather pretty good. He refed a million games that I coached, whether it be basketball or even some football games and whatnot. I remember his grandfather at our practices, reffing our practices when I was at U of A football. You know, so I just remember my way. And I always wanted him to cheat a little bit for us, you know. Like, give us the extra yard, man. You live in Tucson.
Talking about Cleo Robinson, the legendary referee out of Marana High School. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. But he never did. His integrity is solid, man. But now, man, Bijan, man, he's a great example to all the kids, man. My son actually, I'm coaching in the organization, the Falcons, and he's, getting a chance to play for the same, I ain't gonna say the same team, but the team that carries the logo that he had as a kid, the Atlanta Falcons. So it's just real cool, man, to be in that environment with those guys and just watching Bijan at Texas. I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't believe he was gonna be able to go to Texas and do that. I didn't believe that, man. But hey, everything it just showed that. No matter where you play it, I thought, man, he didn't play that high level of talent in Tucson. I'm sure that's what the kids in Texas were thinking. We sometimes be a little cocky down there. And but he came down there and proved, man, that he was tough and he was physical, and everything he did in high school, he did it in college. And now he's doing it in the pros.
Well, we talk about running backs, and we played that promo right before the lead into the segments, and now the Wildcats Kelvin, are down a running back in their room as Rayshon Speedy Luke made the decision this week that he was going to take a red shirt, played in 7 games his freshman year, got hurt, only had 15 carries back in 2022, played in all 13 games last year, had only 4 carries, though, through the the first 4 games of this season, so 1 carry per ball game. Your thoughts on that decision by Rayshon to redshirt?
I think it's smart for him, man. I mean, and a lot of times, man, I always remember they said you have 4 years, you have 5 years to play 4, right? And so if you're not really getting that much playing time, coach could every year go and get another guy and put him in front of you. Right now, there's 2 guys in front of him that he never even knew was going to be here, right?
Yeah.
That transferred in, right? And it's really 3 if you add in Merritt, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that, like, I understand it from the university's perspective where they got to get the best players that they can get to fit their schemes and to help them win. But from a player perspective, man, you bring in 3 new guys and all 3 of those guys, end up in front of me. Man, I got to, think for myself a little bit there. And a lot of it is with those guys that are ahead of them is they brought in veteran guys.
Yeah.
They brought in guys that are 5th-year seniors, and one guy, at least 5th-year seniors. So, that's grown men, man. And then the kid from Ole Miss, was Cano?
Ricino, yeah. Kendrick Ricino, yeah.
Yeah, then you see him get in there, as a freshman or sophomore, and he break a few runs. I mean, it makes you a little nervous. You're like, man, I ain't gonna ever get a chance to rock, run the rock. So I understand from his point for sure.
Yeah, you look at obviously the situation with Rayshon, and that's tough. We'll see what the future holds for him. He came in here with the reputation of really being a fast kid, a 10.2 kid in terms of his track speed, and sometimes you wonder now because again we've seen this happen a number of times. I think here at the University of Arizona where those fast guys, I always harken back to Devontae Neal because I still say to this day, Devontae Neal was probably one of the best high school players, if not the best high school player I saw play here in the state of Arizona. And then he came here and they just never really knew what to do with him or where he was going to fit. If he was a running back, if he was going to be a wide receiver, could he do the routes? How could they take advantage of that speed? Then they tried to flip him over to defense. I remember, and that just didn't really work out. And the same thing with Cam Denson. Cam Denson came in with the reputation of being this real speedy guy, but they just never could seem to figure out what his fit was. And I guess I'm floored when you think about fast football players and coaches not being able to figure them out.
Yeah, man. Sometimes that's the way it bounces, and a lot of time it has to do with the personnel of the guys in front of you. It just seems that when you have that speedy guy, you usually only have one that you use in those plays. Last year it was Cowing, right? And a lot of times you like using those guys in a slot. I would have loved to see Luke probably play some slot. I'm sure they tried him at practice, but he's been a running back all his life. So, he's a running back that probably had to catch passes out the backfield, get in a screen game, swing routes out the backfield, maybe some wheel routes, but he has to be somewhere that's going to give him a package to where he's going to get on the field and get opportunities, at least 10 opportunities a game with that type of speed.
Kelvin Efon joining us. He is our guest, the captain. He joins us every football game day on our Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day coverage. Speaking of running backs, Kelvin, we talk so much about Texas Tech and their ability to throw the ball, but, man, they've got a really good running back coming in here in Taj Brooks, a guy that many believe might be the best running back in the country, and they're not afraid to hand him the ball close to 30 times a game.
I mean, a bowling ball, 5'10", 230 pounds, and he doesn't look it. I mean, he looks like he's about 210. So, I mean, when guys look like that means they're solid. So, yeah, man, he's going to be tough to take down. Our linebackers are not particularly big, so those guys are going to have to gang tackle. That means, you want to have 5 to 6, even 11 hats on the ball if you can, because if this guy gets into the secondary, it's going to be tough for our guys to get him down. So, yeah, man, it's tough to go against backs like these, especially when he's in an offense that would love to throw the ball 50 times and hand it to him 30. So, yeah, we're going to have to be on our toes. They run a fast break type of system where they kind of speed it up and they get up to the line and kind of go fast. Trying to keep you in certain defenses. So, yeah, man, it could be a long night if this kid get rolling.
We talked a lot, Kelvin, about Tacario Davis and his performance, obviously, last Saturday night in the win over Utah. We didn't maybe touch as much on Emmanuel Carnley, who came in for an injured Marquise Groves-Killebrew, and I thought really performed well in his first big game on the stage. He admitted that he's not as long as Tacario, but still a pretty long cornerback, I think, and I love seeing these big corners. We saw him in camp, we saw Jono Price in camp. They seem to be trending into that. Those, obviously, really the only short corner route really we have on the roster right now is G7, Javion Celestine. But you got to really like those tall cornerbacks and just their ability to not only, if you're going to play, I guess, if you're going to focus defensive backs as a whole, you really like the ability of those guys to switch off guarding, whether it's a wide receiver or a tight end, as we saw in many respects with Tacario Davis guarding tight ends last Saturday night.
Yeah, it makes your defense more flexible. I like to say the Chris McCallum type, the Randy Robbins type of build type guy, 6'2", 6'3". It just makes it tough. A lot of the receivers are 6 foot and under, and those guys just have longer arms and they can reach out and get their hands on deflections, maybe even get interceptions, and just make it tough for the quarterback to fit balls into certain areas because of the wingspan that these guys have and their ability to cover the field. So, yeah, when you're able to have big guys that have the athletic ability to be able to run with the small 6 foot to 5'9", quick type of guys, it's always to your advantage.
All right, Kelvin, I got my guy Dragon Ball here with me. And, Kelvin, you are from Dallas. Dragon Ball is from Pittsburgh. It's the Cowboys and the Steelers. You'll hear it here Sunday night on Wildcats Radio 1290. Okay, Kelvin, give me your reason why the Cowboys will beat the Steelers, and then we'll have Dragon Ball give his point on why the Steelers are going to win.
Well, I really think that the defense it's their time to stand up, and I think the defense want to have a game. I think the Dallas Cowboys all my life have been known to step up in big games, and Pittsburgh has always been a big game for us. So I just think they're going to step up, and I think Dak likes the bright lights as well. So we're going to step up and make some plays on those guys. We ain't going to let that Fields run all over the place.
All right, Dragon Ball, why will the Steelers beat the Cowboys Sunday night?
Well, looking at that defense Kelvin was talking about, the nickname for the Cowboys defense has always been Doomsday, and I feel that both of our squads right now are dealing with some Doomsday defense in regards to injuries. I think that the injury to Micah Parsons, they just announced that he will not play in that Sunday night game, will be a big dividend in letting Justin Fields have a bit more of a pocket to sit in. I'm also thinking that the running game for the Steelers maybe finally will go ahead and get some headway here with Najee Harris going up against that Dallas squad. But it's going to be a good game regardless because Dak and CeeDee Lamb, they like to go ahead and light it up when they get their rhythm going. So hopefully Joey Porter Jr. shuts that down.
Is TJ Watt going to play?
TJ Watt's going to play, but it'll be a question of who's going to be his opposite edge rushing partner because Kelvin, I think you know more than anybody. If you get one good edge rusher, you'd like to have a second good edge rusher on the other side to let that guy have more one-on-ones and give that quarterback more stuff to think about in the pocket.
No, exactly. So having only one of those guys to deal with, you can send a double team that way and make it difficult for them.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kelvin, we'll see you on Saturday early, or no, not this week. Next week's early. We'll see you Saturday on the mall at 3:30.
Yes, sir. Bow down, guys.
All right, that is Kelvin Ifan, the captain, 1998. Again, our coverage will begin at 3:30 on Saturday from the mall. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be out at the Bear Down Friday at Illegal Pete's from 3 to 6. So join us for that. And don't forget, we got a sweet deal tomorrow on our website. It is a sweet deal to go see the Pumpkin Patch over in Marana, $12.50 for the Pumpkin Patch, $12.50 as well for the Haunted Corn Maze, 8:30 a.m., WildcatsRadio1290.com. Thanks to Kelvin Ifan. Thanks to Steve Quiz for Dragon Ball, for Cricket, for Priscilla, for Jada. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Coming up next, the National Football League, Thursday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bijan Robinson, and the Atlanta Falcons. Enjoy the game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The following is a